This is Vinyl Voices Radio, ESPN 97.5.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm John Didman.
Jesse and Veronica.
All right, everybody, welcome to another badass episode of Vinyl Voices Radio. This one's going to be a whole lot of fun because it's a family show.
It is. It's all in the family tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So tonight we have Escape from Zoo. So we'll let you know who they are in a little bit.
You're going to see some resemblance, especially in the facial hair.
Right, beards.
The beards.
Yeah.
Some hairy people on the show today. All right, everybody, welcome to this episode of Vinyl Voices Radio here on ESPN. I'm John Didman. He's Jesse Sendejas. And like I said, we have a really fun show for this week. Some badass music's going to be listened to and played. Sprague's Pizza is definitely going to be eaten.
Yep. Frank's. Good stuff. What you got there?
Drinking some good True Anomaly beer.
Yeah.
So why don't you fill us in on our guest this week?
Yeah. So that is John Didman, and I am Jesse Sendejas, and that's also Jesse Sendejas, my son, and that's my daughter-in-law, Veronica.
I don't know where the camera.
Number 1, camera 2, 3, 4.
So they're in a few bands, but the one that we're going to focus on tonight is Escape from Zoo, Fat Wreck recording artist. We're going to talk about songs from their 2022 Fat Wreck debut, and then talk about some cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, so that was pretty exciting. Whenever you guys posted, like, guess who just signed us?
Yeah, it was surprising.
Yeah.
we had so Elliot, our guitar player, came over to my folks' house during the pandemic. He rode a bus and made sure he was completely, clean, showed up, and we recorded the whole thing at the house and sent it off to our buddies John E. Carey and Baz that worked with us on a Fat Wreck release we did with my other band, Days and Days. And I guess while they were working on it, Fat Mike just walked by and heard some of it, and it was like, sign that.
Nice. On just one listen? I don't think I ever got the full story. Did he pass 2 or 3 times? Because I could see
That's the story that I heard. I guess heard one of them mixing it, and he was like, "Yep, that."
Nice.
Yeah, it was No Effects. Been one of my favorite bands for a long, long time, and then to see you guys jump on that label, and I've known you for a while as well, and so I was like, yeah, I'm proud of these guys.
Yeah, you have actually known Jesse longer than you've known me, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe
Strange.
so.
Yeah.
It is strange. We've come full circle now.
Right. Yeah.
But wait, not yet. That's when we all started our band together. That's really come full circle.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see if Veronica's going to step aside for Kelly on mandolin in that band.
You're playing drums, right?
Whatever you guys say. Yeah, I think drums, yeah. Mm-hmm. Although you're a drummer.
I'm not. I have drums. I mean, that's I have an alto saxophone too. I could be that guy, but I'm,
Right.
Yeah.
I got a car. I'm not a race car driver.
There it is. Yeah.
I can be that guy too. I had a 7th grade level only.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really go beyond that, but I also
Veronica
am
shreds the
alto
sax.
sax guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have played it at shows.
Yeah, and then it broke.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's sad.
They're
day.
expensive.
But that's when you got the flute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're cheap.
Yeah. So, yeah, tonight we're going to listen to some songs. I don't really know the order of what we're going to listen to. So,
We have seen the show.
you have
It's so surreal to be in the studio because I've seen it on YouTube so much.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's funny when you're walking in, you're like, oh, there's the pool. Oh, there's that thing. Oh, there's the sign. So
It really is in the garage. It happens. All right, well, let's listen to the first song.
It's time to remove a piece of this puzzle that I put together with music and drugs. The drug part specifically, I know dependent, I'll never become a one. Cause I got a lot of goals, as a rose to say, one of them is free to pick your poison, and the fun of the ton of them, they certainly shape me, but hope that didn't make me the person who I've grown to be. I'm genuinely afraid to change, and I'm aware that it sounds a bit strange and depressing, but booze has been there for me, I'm not prepared to be made not to cope. And I'd like to believe that the art came from me and it wasn't the drugs, but it truly is frightening deep down inside of me, I'm not so sure that it was. Please tell me that I don't need to be drunk and stoned to be the person you all grown to know over these past 10 years. Basically a sentient beer. I've been to that point where your body is functioning, but you are no longer running the show. And if you're in the same boat, I'd like to make certain there's one thing you know. I am judging every weather in the storm, I will happily give you my raincoat. And I hope that you make it through, trust me, it's better to know that your thoughts are your own. And I'd like to believe that the art came from me and it wasn't the drugs, but it truly is frightening deep down inside of me, I'm not so sure that it was. Please tell me that I don't need to be drunk and stoned to be the person you all grown to know over these past 10 years. Basically a sentient beer. I've gotta find my self-esteem in someplace other than a bottle, but I've been running on this clutch for so damn long.
Out of girls are broken when you only got one speed next for throttle. If it's the right decision, why does it feel so wrong?
Poisons comprise my very soul. It seems as we keep getting older, we are forced to deem what we see as important. Partying is always fun, self-medicating help me run. Box up the toxins, I'm so done with feeling weighted, sick and dumb. And for myself, I need to know that I can do this on my own. So won't you please tell me that I don't need to be drunk and stoned to be the person you've all grown to know over these past 10 years. Basically a sentient beer. Please tell me that I don't need to be drunk and stoned to be the person you've all grown to know over these past 10 years. Basically a sentient beer. Please tell me that I don't need to be drunk and stoned to be the person you all grown to know over these past 10 years. Basically a sentient beer.
I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, so let's talk about that song.
That song was called Sentient Beer, not Learning Curve, y'all.
Yeah, Sentient Beer.
Sentient Beer.
But you know, the lyrics you talk about, you know, was the drugs that helped you write the lyrics or help you be the musician that you are and all this. And I don't know. That's something that I always feel like I don't agree with, because like Kurt Cobain was a good musician, Jimi Hendrix was a badass musician, you know, and all like people are very talented. And I mean, does it open up a few other ways to do things? Possibly, but it doesn't take away the talent.
I think that like tortured artist thing is just a complete fallacy. Everything that I've ever wrote that I like, I wrote when I was sober. Maybe I'll take like notes and things when I'm in like an altered state of mind, but it never comes together cohesively, obviously, because I'm out of my...
I mean, I know I've had ideas at night. I'm like, this is the best idea ever. And I'll scribble it down. I'll wake up. I'm like, this doesn't even make sense.
What the hell is this?
Last night it was-
What is it? Write drunk, edit sober, right? That's like the...
Yep.
But you don't even have to write drunk. If you just kind of just skip that part, you can write and edit and create so much faster. It's important to me that budding artists understand that, because I kind of got sucked into it with like Baker 3 kind of glorified, you know, like drinking with the piss drunk stuff, and then of course like bands like Leftover Crack or the Casualties. Punk rock in general kind of glorifies drinking and drug use, and it's just so destructive. And they never talk about the aftermath. I mean, no one ever like parties that hard and then like lives to be okay.
Yeah,
you know,
wakes up the next day like, all right, guys, who wants to go for a jog?
Glad we did that. Yeah, and it does not happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about it when you're hammered. You're like, we're gonna wake up, we're gonna work out. It's gonna be. And you wake up and you feel like total hell.
Mm-hmm.
Using didn't make any of them. It didn't create any of them. It destroyed them.
Yeah.
It really.
Yeah.
It's what killed all your heroes. It's not what created your heroes.
Yeah. The 27 Club was not forged by drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, it made it to 32.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, it's still that contemplation of it. It has to be there when, you know, you're walking hand in hand with it, you know, as you have at times. You know, it's like, okay, well, you know, how can you not think of things that way sometimes? And so,
especially booze is just inescapable in this country. I was watching some show called The Alienist, I think, on Hulu the other day, and they had like an ad break every like 30 minutes, and every single time it was just like Crown Royal, Budweiser, like every single commercial break was like a different alcohol, and I was like, this is nuts, man. Like, if people understood how devastating that drug can be, they would not be like...
It's one of the worst things by far that's ever been created by mankind.
Really,
alcohol.
You can do... Honestly, you could do cocaine every day. If you do it in moderation, you'd be better off than drinking every day.
Yeah.
Commercials for cocaine.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
That's what
cocaine!
We'll let you know in 2 weeks.
Super Bowl halftime show brought to you by that pure white. Yeah. It's scary, and people don't think about it because it's so ubiquitous in our society, just everywhere. But yeah, I mean, I've been there, I've done that, and it's not been fun for most of it.
Yeah, well, as you're watching commercials, I mean, they never show like the next day where there was like a Pedialyte commercial that really surprised me. That the guy was sitting at the refrigerator drinking Pedialyte. The kid comes by, he goes, "Hey, Daddy, that's mine." I'm like, that's a hangover commercial right there.
Exactly.
That's truth.
it is. Don't they sell like this stuff now too? That's just like basically an IV for.
Yeah.
I think you could go to like a IV clinic and just get a hangover.
Yeah, just go get all your essentials replenished back in you.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
That's nuts. Neither have I.
I have a friend that does it on a regular basis.
Does it work?
He says it does. Claims it does. I don't know.
Well, music definitely. There's substance abuse associated with
I mean,
a lot of musicians, but it's a lot of different art too. I mean, like writers and I mean, so this question
there's substance abuse kind of related to every field. There's substance abuse at McDonald's.
Yeah.
There's substance abuse at the oil field.
I can vouch for that. There's substance abuse at McDonald's. It helps it go. It makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Tweakers are working at all your local McDonald's, and they're getting shit done.
Yeah. You know how many double cheeseburgers you can make in an hour if you hit that pipe?
Get it just right. Yeah. Speeds up that drive-through.
Don't do it, kids.
Please don't do it. It's very
not condoning any of it at all.
It's very toxic.
Yeah, I'm interested in the response to that song because it's the lyric is I'm just thinking about this thing about myself, but a big thing with y'all's music is a lot of people really respond to it, and so what's the response been like for that particular song? I mean, is it usually very personal to you, like, oh no, man, you're good, or I mean,
I think that song I recorded when I got sober for the first time on the road with Leftover Crack, which seems like an impossible thing to do, but those guys are actually super supportive, especially Brad Logan, who plays guitar. He's been sober for like 20 years, and he'd have like AA meetings backstage and stuff before the shows. So I got sober, and on the road I wrote that song. I just took a video of myself playing it in our tour van at like 2 in the morning or something and posted it to YouTube. And I got the response was overwhelmingly positive. I was kind of nervous because it's just so ingrained in punk culture that, like, you know, you get flipped up and die. Like, that's what we do. Like, that narcissism, that nihilism is kind of just ingrained in the culture of it. But I got so many positive messages that were like, yeah, man, you can do it. You got this. Like, I'm in the same boat. I hate my life. I wake up, you know, and drink a handle of vodka and I just want to stop. I just want to get away from it. And it helps to know that, you know, other people are in the same boat. I think, you know, art goes both ways. It's like, if someone can relate to your art, that's fantastic. But also it helps the artist to know that other people can relate to them, because everyone kind of feels alone in these feelings at times.
Right.
Especially in that, when, you know, you're used to this. You have one coping mechanism that you learn that works really, really well.
For you and all your friends.
Exactly. And then that one coping mechanism just completely fails you and destroys everything that, you know, you want to do. It's impossible to do what you love, I think, if you spend your life just trying to avoid the parts of life that you hate. And it took me so long to learn that.
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one to learn too.
Yeah, because
how to handle that.
Well, crutches feel so good.
Right.
I mean, it really does. We were talking to our banjo player for Days and Days, Owen, the other day, and we were talking about, like, drug use and getting high and stuff. And he was like, yeah, my pops told me once that, like, people are never meant to feel that good. And I was like, I think that's what, because it definitely balances out. Like, you feel incredible, and then you're gonna feel equally as terrible, you know, the next day whenever that wears off. Yeah, if you can keep like a baseline, that's like the best way to be. That's the happiest I've ever been. You know, and I can wake up and actually eat food and taste it and, like, do things
and enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
And it's before noon.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, let's wrap up this segment real quick, and when we get back, we'll talk more with Escape from the Zoo. This is Vinyl Voices.